themes around Satan and Satanism resonate right now?
For me, it seems kind of obvious that there's been a complete reversal in the roles of who's ostensibly the good guys and who are the bad guys. Right now, we have evangelical nationalists pushing a theocratic agenda in the United States and making great headway to take away people's reproductive rights, endorse corporal punishment in schools, spread pseudoscience or otherwise reject a scientific point of view, in really undermining liberal democracy. So at this point, there seems to be an apparent intuitive grasp of what Satan can mean in a heroic context. And I think you see that vindicated in the film when you see how quickly we've grown and how much that kind of iconography has resonated with people. They instantly seem to grasp it. Some people don't, of course, and object to it outright, but we have seen that, it speaks to people in ways that we could have never predicted from the start.
The main challenge in figuring out how to structure the story of the film is simply that the Satanic Temple is doing so much. A lot of their activities that were really important and interesting didn't make it into the film. 95 minutes is not that long, especially because we wanted to make sure we covered the beginning. Like, we wanted this to feel like this is the origin story of the Satanic Temple, and we wanted to leave it feeling very much like this is not the end of the story. So it was difficult to leave a lot of the really amazing work they do out. And it was also a little bit difficult to predict what was going to happen. I mean, there was just a lot of activity, and we were chasing, different chapters around the country doing really exciting things in their local communities and, national campaigns. And there was just a lot to sort of navigate. But, we just tried to keep true to like what would be like the best starting point for an average audience member. And then with that in mind, how can we make sure we're not doing a disservice to the more informed Satanist who watches the film? And I don't want them to feel like their intelligence is being insulted. So finding the balance, with the uninitiated, and then also wanting to be sure that Satanists would like it too, was, I think, pretty hard. I think we did a good job, but it was difficult.
Since the start of the Trump administration, there's been even more pushback against what you do.
Yeah, but there's been also that kind of concurrent understanding of a need for the kind of activities that the Satanic Temple are doing. Within hours of Trump being declared president, our membership numbers really spiked. And if we looked at the metrics for our website and other kind of web activity, it was like a straight line upward on election night, because people realized that this was, if they viewed it as a joke before, it wasn't a joke anymore, and that the rise of theocracy was very real.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand just how big of a part the evangelical rights vote played in the election of Donald Trump. And we leave this out of the film because, frankly, we didn't want to look at his face. But, it's sort of in the world around us, right? As much as Donald Trump himself is certainly not a believer in anything, the evangelical right really did a lot of work to elect him. And so, and he's repaid them in various ways. And so I feel like the work the Satanic Temple is doing is particularly resonant now. I also think that we're in such dark political times that people who maybe typically wouldn't care what the Satanists have to say might be a little more open-minded in their desperation for answers.
But the theocratic right has been emboldened by the election of Donald Trump. And as soon as he was elected, you could see these kinds of bills against abortion being pushed to be passed in states like Texas and Ohio against, fetal heartbeat bans as soon as the fetus starts a heartbeat. They were saying that's about 6 weeks. Sometimes women don't even know they're pregnant at that point, trying to ban abortions outright, and pushing other kind of theocratic agendas nationwide. And there's a very centralized, well-organized, well-financed force trying to undermine the very spirit of the United States Constitution and give exclusive privilege to one religious viewpoint. And we're really a grassroots movement without any of that financing and without any of that networking yet. And we're making great strides just because the law really is on our side, at least for now.
Do you see anything satanic